Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tech Talk webinar entitled When Shrinkage is Good, Decreasing Response Time. I'm Erin Swanson, and I'll be your moderator today for this very well-attended event. We'll cover interactive playbooks and specifically how to respond to the latest WannaCry attack. We'd like to thank our head of security research, Leor Kolnick, for building this playbook in such a timely manner. And just a few housekeeping items I'd like to cover before we begin. As many of you know, if you have questions, type them in on the right-hand area of the webinar platform, and we will address as many as possible and as time permits. We are recording this session, and we will send you the slides and a link to the recording on Monday. And with those details out of the way, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Rishi Bhargava. Before co-founding Demisto, Rishi was VP and General Manager of the Software-Defined Data Center Group at McAfee Intel. He joined McAfee by way of acquisition of SolidCore, an enterprise security startup, where he was responsible for product management and strategy. Rishi has over a dozen patents in computer security and serves as an advisor to multiple startups in the Valley and in India. Take it away, Rishi.
Thank you, Erin, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Let's jump right in. So before we go through an interactive demo, I want to quickly use a few slides to set the stage and talk about what Demisto offers. When we think of security operations, we think of Demisto as playing that connected fabric for your security infrastructure and teams. And the important piece here to understand throughout the entire webcast, as we will see, is how we tie the entire incident response life cycle end to end. So one big piece of the Demisto vision is complete case management. So metrics around incidents, incident life cycle, SLAs, how are incidents getting in, who does it get assigned to, all of those pieces. Second pillar of the solution, which we're going to discuss in depth today, is just the entire automation orchestration, integrating with numerous security products or communication products, and saving as much time for the analyst as possible, and also still keeping analysts in the loop in the center to be able to do the decision making, bringing the right information, and then also second part, to be able to respond faster with automation. The third piece is collaboration, learning. How do analysts work together? And we can actually see this live in the demo scenario today as well. Analysts working together, assigning tasks to each other, being able to collaborate, chat, learn from each other, all of those pieces. So those are the three key pillars of the solution. And diving a little bit deeper into the product, Demisto out of the box integrate with 100+ security products, very easy to extend integrations, almost 500 actions across those 100+ products, ability to build playbooks across those products. We touched upon incident management already, but something to highlight, the way we designed the incident management solution. We help you collect evidence, journal evidence, meet the regulatory or legal compliance required around those evidence, because it is indeed a real breach that you're dealing with. It's extremely important to make sure all the evidence and data that is collected is kept in a legally sane manner. So the incident management component takes all those requirements into account. Third piece, what we call real-time interactive investigation, helps tier 2, tier 3 analysts collaborate with each other. There's always, in the organization, there are experts who know malware research better. Some experts might know phishing scenarios better. Some person might be a PCAP expert, so on and so forth. So in those scenarios, Demisto helps them connect, helps them work on the same incident while keeping all the collaboration, all the chatter, all the actions performed across these products documented in a central place, so that you don't have to go spend time after the incident building the entire incident report. And the last piece is all of this rich information that gets collected across the incident, indicators, whether they are coming as part of the original information, whether they are being collected during the investigation as part of the automation playbooks, or they are being collected and added by the analyst throughout the investigation. All of those pieces are cross-correlated, including being able to import sticks indicators right into an incident. To summarize, I think the way we designed the platform, the way we thought about it on our research with our community of users, we designed it to be able to empower and help the tier 1 to tier 3 analysts and SOC managers with the entire platform rather than focusing on just automation piece. Talking about, again, the extensibility of the platform, out of the box, we integrate with 100 plus products in different categories, including threat feeds, analytics, and malware analysis, advanced endpoint, network security. These logos are pretty much kind of, I say, a snapshot of what the real integration set looks like. We are actually going to see some of the integrations live in action today, but the integration set is much exhaustive. I couldn't really put in 100 names and logos on this one slide. Also, a complete SDK for people to build their own integrations. Very, very easy, fully documented. We have partners and customers contributing these integrations all the time. So without spending a lot more time on the slides, I would actually like to jump into the demo. But before we go there, a quick walkthrough of what we're going to do. So in the demo today, we are going to start by reviewing the WannaCry playbook. This playbook actually helps customers who have been hit, but also helps customers who have not been hit, but to put all the precautionary things in place, or even hunt. In that, we will first go review the playbook. We'll look at how easy it is to edit and add tasks and do things like those, or just basically create a new playbook. So we're going to go through the full playbook editor to see how powerful and easy it is. Then we're going to actually run the playbook live on an incident, see how the hunting happens, how the indicator collection happens, how we can respond to things like blocking SMB ports and other pieces. Then we can actually take a look at how, in a collaborative manner, do investigation further. We can actually pivot a little bit and not continue in the WannaCry scenario, but extend it to say, how do we do a PCAP analysis with somebody's help who might be sitting completely in a remote area and chat and keeping all that history. And then we're going to look at incident report and summary to see how this data all comes together end to end. So that's the flow we're going to go through the product today. So let's switch to the console. So the product is a web-based console. It basically is hosted on a Linux server at the back end and runs this front end as a web browser. What you're seeing is the dashboard across all incidents. And these incidents could be created in the system either automatically because of integrations with all the SIMs or a mailbox, or could be manually created. And we're going to actually go through a manual creation of an incident further down the demo. So let's jump to our playbooks. There are numerous playbooks that come out of the box. And this is one of the playbooks that we built for specifically WannaCry. This is just an example. I mean, I think it's important to understand we just picked up this example because it was very timely. Also, this entire playbook is actually available in our resources section of the website. We will actually include the link later. The playbook will run automatically in the product, but we actually have resources. If you guys don't have the product deployed or installed, it can still help you, and we have a very detailed playbook right here in the resources section to be able to go through each step. What are the challenges and how do you solve them? How do you patch all the hashes, everything? So that's some of the research we are sharing with you guys as well. So let's look at this playbook and how it operates. So a little bit about the playbook editor here. We are seeing a pretty large playbook. This happens to be one of the kind of exhaustive playbooks with different phases. Playbook steps could be run in parallel or sequential. So when you see these multiple feeds coming out of the stop playbook editor trigger, that means the playbook will run in parallel. We'll start on the left here. There is a nice navigator piece here. You can zoom in and zoom out of the playbooks. But here we are saying first things to typically do is contain the spread. And to contain the spread, what we are recommending is internet-facing SMB server ports should be blocked. Typical way to do that is with a firewall and putting the right ports and the rules in place. So that's one of the steps here. Then the next step is maybe you already have IPS such as not deployed, and if you have such a tool deployed, then you can go ahead and check whether Snot is deployed and connected with Demisto, and then deploy the right rule set with Snot. Or you can actually go ahead and deploy those IPS rules manually. The important piece I want to highlight here is the playbooks in Demisto are designed to include either automation or including human analyst manual steps. There will always be scenarios where you might not be able to automate a lot of things. Maybe you want to escalate it to legal, invite HR. All of those things could actually be manual tasks. So when you don't see a lightning bolt, that means the task needs to be manually executed by the analyst and still be tracked as part of the playbook, and we'll see some of this in traction. So the second phase here could be patch the vulnerability, checking if there is any legacy systems in the enterprise using Tanium or other tools, being able to create Jira tickets in an external system. Maybe in your environment, the patching function is with IT or a different group, and all you got to do is rather than trigger patching for the right separation of duties, you might want to create a Jira ticket in the system, or a ServiceNow ticket. We integrate with multiple IT ticketing systems out there. Then the other phases of the playbook could include being able to deploy IOCs. So being able to go get all the IOCs, and we'll see this live run, and it's very interesting. So we go here to Falcon host here and actually get all the live IOCs. So here is an example on how to edit, for example. So this task is you can go in and say, I want to add a new task. So you can actually say Falcon, which is the CrowdStrike product. You go in and says, I want to get all the indicators from Falcon and pick up the CS indicators, put in the malware family information, and move on. So rather than go through and spend time on that entire task creation, I'll show you a task that's created. Here we started with the get WannaCry. This is the task name. The CS indicators is the automation. And then we are just putting in the right parameters, like the malware family is equal to, and we provided the name of the malware family, which is WannaCry Ransomware. And this is an example of how easy it is to get an automation. Similarly, for example, creating a Jira ticket happens to be as simple. So you go here, look at the task library, all the integrations that are there could be either searched through that or just browse right here. So for example, Jira would be go to Jira, open this, Jira, create an issue, provide the right parameters, and you're done. So that's how easy it is to connect. The playbook does support conditions. You're going to see here in a lot of scenarios, if there's legacy systems, yes, then do this. It could be an else condition. So you can actually as easily say drag and drop, say else condition, and then for else condition, the task you want is no patching to be done. And let's say this is a manual task that you just want to create, and you just create that as is. It looks a little bit busy here, so rather than drag and drop and realigning, it's extremely easy in a busy playbook to hit that. It realigns, makes the space, all of those pieces. So that's most of the editing of the playbook. Now, another important highlight is if you really want to build a scalable incident response model, I don't recommend building these large playbooks because you might want to actually have other playbooks. Here, I have another playbook called Rapid IOC Hunting Playbook. So if I find all these indicators, there are certain set of hashes that you want to hunt for, you might want to embed a full playbook right here. So that's what you see here, which is we have embedded a Rapid IOC Hunting Playbook. And this is another playbook. The way you embed other playbooks is you go to Playbooks, you pick out your playbook. So let's clear the search entry here. So these are all the playbooks that are available. And you pick your playbook. Let's say you want to take the malware playbook and you want to add it. You do this here, and this is how you link it. So after this step, the playbook will run. So that's how you can even embed playbooks. And we're going to see this in live run, which is when these playbooks are embedded with each other, you can actually zoom in and figure out the entire workflow piece there. So we have this playbook, and again, to recap, what we are doing right here is we are doing all these steps, which is containing the spread. We are patching the vulnerability. We are setting up the protection rules, including being able to search for WannaCry. If there are any hosts found as MSSSEC, SBC, we find those hosts. We go to Carbon Black and see what are those hosts and what are those sessions. We create a session and we kill the process. So that's kind of the response step. And then here you will see we being able to hunt across our environment if any of the malicious hashes or the indicators that we have are found across the environment. So this is a little bit about the playbook editor. Some other interesting things, very, very handy, is extremely easy to undo. When you're building playbooks, it'll always happen that you'll make a mistake. So that's what we did undo. It even does undo in remembering the locations. So if you mess it up a little bit, dragging it around, very quickly get back. And then I think my favorite, it sounds like a trivial feature, but it's important if you're trying to share playbooks and build it together as a team, is being able to export as a PNG file. But it becomes very handy if you hit export as a PNG file, you are able to quickly get this output fully done in a scalable PNG, and you can share this with the team and get their input right there. So those are some of the Canvas features here. So we're going to close out of this. I'm not going to save the playbook because I don't know what all I did. I might have messed it up on the way. So we'll continue with the playbook that we had. Now, what I'm going to trigger the playbook with is a new incident. Now, typically in real life, if you're responding to an incident like a phishing or a malware or a Splunk alert, some of these other examples we see here in the previous demos, you would go and automatically import these incidents. And those are extremely easy things to configure by connecting these SIM rules and being able to import. In our demo scenario today, we're going to actually not go and import and automatically, because WannaCry, there is no alert coming in. So I'm going to create a hunt incident here. Very easy. These incident fields are extensible, but I'm going to just call it a WannaCry hunt incident. You can choose different fields, who's the owner. So let's say for now, I'm going to make myself as the owner, but you can assign anybody as the owner. You can choose the type of the incident. We're not going to worry about that. The playbook could be associated and automatically run with the type. But again, to save time here in a demo scenario, I'm going to just assign the playbook that we just created. But again, to reemphasize, the playbook could be associated with the type, and the flow that you're going to see here can be fully automated till an analyst needs to really interject. Now let's put in some details. I have some of my hashes from WannaCry right here. We can actually get the indicators automatically, which we are actually going to do from, in our example today, CrowdStrike threat feed. But irrespective, I have some hashes which I just put in the incident details to make the hunt scenario more interesting. So that's all. So this is how easy it is to create an incident, and it triggers the playbook. So what happened here was, you see the playbook starts to run. So you're seeing here on the left that the playbook is started to run, and you're going to see it run live right here. So go through the entire playbook, and being able to run completely and review is also very handy. It's not just that the playbook designer is visual, but the entire data set here, the playbook is right now running and refreshing and going the live run. So let's actually get this information and then start to review this. And as is in the demo, the internet is slower than usual. Refreshing now. So here's the playbook, right? So let's see where we are, right? So this playbook actually ran and collected automatic information. So to highlight, first we were in the playbook editor, now we are in the work plan. So work plan is like a running instance of the playbook. So what you see here is these check marks means these tasks have been completed, and we can go review output of each of these tasks. And the yellow sign means it needs an analyst attention. So when an analyst attention is needed, the analyst is notified via email or other means. And then there might be certain running tasks. Like here, we are trying to go to Carbon Black and create a session to kill the process. And you will see even running tasks. So tasks that are running will be shown live there. So here, for example, let's review a task that has been completed, which was a Jira ticket creation, right? We wanted to go create a Jira ticket. Very easy to review. So here is the Jira ticket that was created. This is the ticket ID. This is the project key and the ticket key. All of that information really here, easy to review. We can find running instances of MSSCC, and we can find what systems was this running on. So this is the Carbon Black sensor ID. All of that information is available right here. And then we can go run search. Like for example, here we are searching across Splunk and see if we find any of the data, if we found any WannaCry, and looks like this result right here is empty. So no result was found. So nothing, Splunk result said no WannaCry found, which is actually a good news. And then from a deploy hash perspective, one of the things which we did was we actually went to Falcon to get all the IOCs. So let's look at the review. So we actually went to CrowdStrike Falcon, Intel API, and got all the indicators in that family. So here you see we found these hashes as indicators. But not only we got all of them, we actually summarized it very nicely that we checked the reputation with multiple threat feed sources, not just CrowdStrike, right? Any threat feed sources you integrate are checked. So I can see what more is there. So I find this bad, but I found it in 5 other incidents. Now in this case, this is a demo scenario, but in a real life, it will happen quite often that a large organization gets infected by the same malware, by the same phishing campaign in different parts. So this cross correlation of indicators comes in very handy. You can jump to that particular incident right there and being able to respond. So you can delete and whitelist if you don't agree with this, and multiple other capabilities. So this is a quick view you're able to do across those indicators. We can actually see the playbook here. So let's see what was a rapid IOC hunting playbook. So if you see when you click on this, it shows you kind of a summary of the playbook tasks that have been executed. But this view, I would like to actually zoom in and see that small playbook in the full big view. So when I say open subs playbook, I now zoomed in. You see it tells me where I am. So I now got into the rapid IOC hunting playbook in Demisto, and I can see all these steps. So the IOC hunting playbook is generic in nature, nothing to do with WannaCry. It basically goes, loads different pieces, loads all the files, loads all the hashes, collects all the IPs, goes in and says, hey, is CrowdStrike available? And if CrowdStrike is available, run the CrowdStrike playbook. Okay, so there is a playbook within a playbook. Maybe I want to dig deeper into the CrowdStrike playbook and see what's going on there. So I can jump into the CrowdStrike playbook, and now we are in the CrowdStrike Rapid IOC hunting playbook, and being able to see what is going on inside the CrowdStrike playbook. So we actually found all the MD5 hashes and see, are there any bad hashes? So you can quickly see, yes, there were bad hashes found. Are there any known bad SHA-1s? No, bad SHA-1s were not found. And if there were bad known MD5s found, we want to go hunt for devices in your environment. So we want to see where did this bad MD5 run? And we can quickly go in and look at that piece. So continuing, we did not, we checked if there were any devices where this bad MD5 ran, the WannaCry. Good news again, we did not find it anywhere. Otherwise, we would see those right here, and we kind of run across for each of the hash. Now, here is an important feature, again, very, very powerful but simple feature. If you see, we had a series of hashes which we copy-pasted in the original playbook, right? So there were 10 or 12 or whatever was the number of hashes there. Now, these hashes were put in as an array. We didn't have to create a for loop. We didn't have to write code. The entire infrastructure handles arrays and looping completely automatically. You just give it a series of hashes or series of IPs, And it ran that command when paused as an array iteratively. So each of these runs are different. So again, saving you analyst time as you're building, you just build the playbook as if you're building it for one. So again, moving on, no bad news was found. We notify the analyst, which is send an email to Rishi at Demisto that this particular incident needs something, and then analyst needs to review. So it paused here. Now, few important things at this point of time. What I could go do is I could actually invite another analyst and assign this task to them. So let's say for our scenario today, we're going to invite Nilima, and Nilima sits in a different office. So I can easily invite her to this incident, and she will get a notification right there. So we invited Nilima. I can assign this task to Nilima, right? So she gets assigned this task. I can set a due date on this particular task. And I want for her to finish on Saturday. It's like I'm a very eager analyst. I assign this task to be finished on Saturday, and I walk away. So this basically is how you can engage at a task level if there are manual tasks assigned and each task duration is tracked and all the metrics around incident management are kept as well. Let's zoom back out here, right? So I can zoom back out playbook by playbook, or I can say, take me all the way back. And I went back to the top level playbook right here, and right here I'm outside. Now, this is how easy is it to review the entire run plan. Now, typically what would happen is at this point of time, I looked at all the information, which all the extract hashes, all the hashes were found. What were the bad hashes? So we found all the reputation of those hashes that we pushed, if they were found as duplicate anywhere else. We actually went ahead and got the reputation for those hashes. And then we actually triggered a ban command in Carbon Black. So this was kind of very quickly deployed and all of that. Now, maybe I'm not convinced that I did my hunting complete. I actually think I want to go in and dig further deeper. So here is the collaboration piece comes in. I'm jumping to War Room right here. So each incident has its work plan, which is step-by-step in the playbook run, and then has the War Room. Now, what I want to do is, I actually want to see, is there a network packet capture, and maybe analyze that for further, if there were any files that were either getting downloaded and the malicious malware was getting downloaded. So maybe what I want to do is, it's end of my day, and I want to say is, Nilima, please, if I can type, guys, today. Nilima, please get me packet capture from our firewall. Now, it could be as easy as triggering a command here. So we'll see that we can trigger a command, but I actually said, hey, Nilima, get me the packet capture. I'm taking off for the day. So I'm now going home, and I asked Nilima to get me the packet capture. And Nilima gets a notification, and it's as if a live window. So she sees exactly the same War Room. She comes in and reviews all this information as well. And she basically gets the packet capture, and she's able to respond to me. So as you can see, she chatted back, says, Rishi, sure, let me get that. And she's the one who has access to all of our packet capture device. She can download them offline. We also have direct integration with things like ProtectWise. So if we want, we can actually go in and get the packet capture directly from ProtectWise, even PCAP download. But in our case here, I relied on Nilima to get me the packet capture. So she just, as you see, I didn't do this task. This is Nilima doing it. She just uploaded the packet capture file, right? So PCAP file comes in here. Now, as a malware researcher, and I know how to kind of take care of PCAPs, typically a tier 2 or a tier 3 as a master analyst would go into a different tool. They'll go into your box. You will have Wireshark and all those tools installed. Here, I don't need to, because any of those tools could be integrated into Demisto. We have integrated the packet capture stuff. So I have this thing called PCAP miner. So I'm going to go slow here because new concept, right? So when you hit bang, this is chatting with our bot. So far I was chatting with Nilima. Now we are actually chatting with dbot and telling dbot any of the tasks that we want. I want to say, dbot, run the PCAP miner and give it the entry ID. So I want it to run the PCAP miner on this particular PCAP file, which Nilima just loaded up. And that's how easy is it to give instruction to dbot to run the PCAP miner. So dbot is working on it, and it basically did that analysis. This is very powerful. I mean, I really think that for the tier 2, tier 3 analyst, they are not working off a playbook most of the time. They are actually going and pivoting in whatever direction they need to. They are going and doing packet capture analysis. They might be doing file malware analysis. They might want to go to volatility and do memory analysis. This interactive nature of the product while tracking everything. So notice that when I issued this command, it's all tracked. PCAP miner extracted few things. So first of all, it ran and it found few files within that PCAP. So these are the files that were extracted from the PCAP. I can download this, but see this is red. So there's something wrong here. We automatically extracted the file and for you marked it as bad, and you can now see if it was in any other incident. Good news is it wasn't in any other incident, so we have not been infected, but I just found a packet capture live and malware. What can I do? I can actually do a few more things. I can actually click on this file and do strings on it. Maybe I want to see what kind of stuff is happening. Here is another file which was extracted, but this looks good. So our reputation sources say it's good. Do I trust it? Maybe I trust it. Maybe I don't trust it. Maybe I want to search Splunk for this hash if it was anywhere else found. Maybe I want to do a deeper analysis and run strings. Maybe I want to run silence file reputation. There's a lot of different things that could be done. Also, some more information from that packet capture. It's 243 packets, HTTP. We got the HTTP source and destination right there. So I can look at all the other pieces here. It was not found in anything. We did not find anything about the reputation of these pieces. So the point is, again, getting all those entities and doing this free-form investigation becomes very handy. But before we move on at this point of time, I think first thing, since we did find something bad in the packet capture, what I should do is take some action. I want to make it as an evidence, right? So again, the legal side, the process side as an analyst, I want to say malicious file as evidence, right? And I can put in a date and time and build my storyboard. So when was this packet capture found? It was on 18th, we found this and mark it as evidence. And this is how you build your evidence board. In interest of time, we're not going to go through a lot of the details on the evidence board and other pieces, but think of evidence board as the storyline of that incident. There is a timeline that you can build. So right here in the evidence board, everything that's found as evidence is right here, known history is right here. But as you're doing all your work, all the automations, all the analysis, the system in the back is building your full story for that incident. So here is the basic information, WannaCry Playbook, Rishi is the owner, this is the name of the incident. We found 16 malicious files. This was what was attached plus what we imported from different sources, including the one that the packet capture extracted. So everything in the incident automatically gets extracted right here. These are the malicious files. We can look at the object and get more details on that. Where did it come from? We can look at the action. So what file actions did we do? We blocked this on these hashes. We get the timeline. This is the details that we have pasted in. We get a nice view of all the indicators, right? Everything that is in this incident is available right here, including the related incidents across. So where did you get it from? All of those pieces, file MD5s, file SHA-1s, there are some SHA-1s which were bad. So all the malicious indicators are right visible here. The evidence is visible here. If I had taken any notes, that's visible here. You can create child investigation. So child investigation helps you talk to your legal HR teams. Maybe this became a public breach and you might want to now go and invite some other people. It looks like there's something new came in the war room. You saw that alert. And here what we see is some of the other tasks failed. So it's actually very timely. Sometimes the tasks fail, I get notified. And what happens here is the Carbon Black session failed. Maybe my Carbon Black instance is down. I can review the error and go do other analysis. So again, quick recap. What we saw was a full life cycle of an incident, from an incident starting, playbook running, an interactive investigation, where two analysts collaborated, where the bot was able to help the analyst by doing certain tasks, and then the entire summary of the incident right here flowing all of that all in one place, summarizing it. In addition, there's a lot of dashboards, reports across your entire organization and infrastructure to measure different aspects of the incident management process. Are there new incidents? Are there pending incidents? Which of the guys are really busy? So how many are unassigned incidents? Are there incidents that are running late and SLA is about to end? All of those pieces aggregated, and then a full reporting section where the reports could be scheduled and customized and uploaded. So that's the time I wanted to spend on the demo. There's a few more resources and slides I want to jump back. And again, a quick reminder, guys, I think this would be a good time to start writing your questions in the chat session and go from there. So I will answer those questions in a couple of more minutes. So let's jump back to the slides. We looked at the full playbook editor, running of the live playbook, interactive investigation. I would encourage participants here to join the community. This is not a really Demisto specific community. Even if you do not have Demisto product, not trying Demisto product, this is a fantastic place to engage with peer analysts. So again, quickly jumping to some of the resources on the website, the community, you can actually look at the community right here on our website. There are roughly 1,400 plus people on the community at this point of time. Active chatter, there was chatter yesterday around playbooks section on the WannaCry playbook. There was chatter around different tools and different pieces. You can actually join the community. It's an open community, not Demisto specific. We do have private channels if you guys want to join Demisto discussion. There is a place where a lot of discussion, yesterday was discussion, can micro-virtualization help you protect from different malware, and maybe you don't need an incident response if you have micro-virtualization. Interesting discussion. So encourage you heavily to go join the community and participate and learn from peer members. Very, very active community across 53 different time zones. And that's most of the material we had. Just a quick summary again. We think of Demisto as the platform for your entire security operations, being able to help all the tiers, automation to investigation to tracking the process to the metrics, all of it. And I think it's very important to think of the entire security operations lifecycle during your choice of a tool. Very fast and significant ROI. I mean, what we saw today, if you think about going and doing the hunting that we did in split minutes, it could be hours of job going into multiple different tools, whether it's CrowdStrike, whether it's Carbon Black, whether it's Splunk, logging in. When we talked to some of our customers and analysts prior to Demisto, they had 8 to 10 tabs open across different tools. And that's just painful. And then copy pasting across those because you found a hash in Splunk which you want to hunt in CrowdStrike. You go there rather than point and click or run that command as well, and auto document. And then the community, guys, really definitely go consider joining the community. You can learn a lot from peers throughout the IR journey. I think this is a very important mission for Demisto, which is it's not just about making your life easy and making analysts happier with the product, but we strongly encourage people to share information, and hence our intent, and all the playbooks are open. All the automations are open source. You guys can go to GitHub and look at all these playbooks. You can look at all the automations, like the entire automation, those 500 actions I was talking about, all open sourced. And I would strongly encourage you guys to go check those out and contribute to work. With that, I think we're going to take some questions. And Erin, if you want to help me, please, with the incoming questions, that would be great.
Sure. Yes, Rishi. Well, first of all, thank you for showing us those powerful interactive playbooks there. I think we got quite a few questions on. One is what is the LOE for integration for other security technologies?
Sorry, could you repeat that? What is the LOE?
Yes, for integration for other security technologies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think the other security technologies are extremely easy to integrate. We integrate using either the REST API or PowerShell in some cases, sometimes web interfaces, SOAP, and other APIs. The turnaround time is also very, very quick. I think we have examples where few hours customers were able to create new integrations. The integrations, I think, the way we do integrations is we actually do a very complete full API set of integration so that these playbooks that we saw are extremely easy and straightforward to build.
Okay, there's quite a few integration questions. Let's just name a few that with NSX and AWS. We wanted to.
Yeah, so we today out of the box we do have an AWS integration for doing different pieces like starting, stopping VM, taking snapshot. NSX, no, not yet. That's actually a good one. In my prior life, I did work a lot with the NSX team at VMware. We'll take that one. But again, I think if there's interest in NSX integration, again, as I said, integrations are easy. NSX, I know, has a very strong API. It's few hours of work typically if the product has a REST API to integrate with things like NSX. And then I think the list of integrations, guys, is on our website, and happy to share a more existing integration as well, integration list as well, maybe as an action out of the webinar rather than go through each integration.
Yeah, makes sense. And just in general, there were questions on, what makes Demisto unique from the competitors out there.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic question, guys. I think clearly I'll be the first to acknowledge the space is full of noise right now. Everybody has an automation and orchestration solution. And I did stress throughout my presentation, think through the criteria of where you need help. Automation helps you in reducing the alert volume, but then it stops and completes. Then comes the investigation. How do you investigate? How do you collaborate? How do you run your SOC process? How do you correlate all of this information and combine all of this information? And that is what makes a complete SOC platform. To answer the question directly, I think where we shine is one, it is a platform. It is truly a platform being able to do the entire life cycle of an incident. Two, some of the other powerful capabilities like being able to collaborate and being able to trigger these commands and auto-document. I cannot tell you, I mean, I've been there once before where I worked for a few years as an analyst, as a system administrator, and keeping up ticketing systems and copy-pasting, it's not fun. And I think this is where you saw the entire investigation chatter there becomes very powerful.
Exactly, yep. And there was, so talking about collaboration and learning from each other and things like that, there was a question on how does Demisto make use of machine learning in making the analyst or the manager jobs easier?
Yeah, so actually there is, we didn't, in interest of time, we didn't get into the learning capabilities today. But if you see, there is very rich data coming in here, right? The type of actions that an analyst takes, the type of chatter that's happening. So in the current release, Demisto has multiple different machine learning capabilities, which include things like who should this incident be assigned to? So if you go pick up an incident, we learn from the historical assignment rules and tell you that the best person to assign this incident is so-and-so, primarily because he was the best one to solve it, he's the least loaded, and or other different metrics, including the typical assignment, and he's an expert. That's one area where we use machine learning. The second aspect is being able to recommend actions. So telling, like, when we saw that ban command and did those actions, being able to recommend, says, here is the typical actions that you should do at this point of time, and we recommend that back to the analyst. Again, we did not have enough time to kind of dig deeper there, but some very powerful capabilities in recommending actions, recommending who's the best person for this job as an assignment and other pieces. So extensive capabilities there, because again, as we see, you cannot learn much from automation, but you can learn a lot from the human analyst behavior. And I think that's, again, the uniqueness that we have, where we are all about the entire human analyst and being able to help them do their task better, even beyond automation. We're able to learn from that as well.
Yes, well said. Well said. Just a couple of product questions here around several questions on is it on-premise or is it a cloud version of the product available?
We offer the product in both capabilities. You can actually deploy this on-premise and connect to your security tools. We offer it as a cloud-hosted service managed by Demisto as well. And in that scenario, there are scenarios where you've got to still integrate with on-premise security solutions. Again, architecturally, we designed it so that there is what we call an engine, which can be deployed as a proxy in your environment, and then it connects back to the Demisto cloud server. So both of the options are available as deployment. Also, we have designed the product to be multi-tenant. So in case of large organizations, large customers, MSSPs, we have had a lot of people using it as a multi-tenant instance and being able to segregate all the data. Sometimes even a large organization can have the privacy team or insider threat team never want to share the incidents there with another team. So you don't need to deploy two instances. So that's a little bit about the architecture and cloud and on-premise.
Okay, and quite a few questions came in also. Go ahead, Rishi.
Yeah, so I think there's another question I see here and about, I'm going to pick this one up, on GRC platform. So yes, we actually integrate with GRC platforms like Archer. We integrate with IT ticketing systems, process, all of those pieces. There's, again, few ways to integrate and deploy with products like Archer. One is being able to use us as the incident management and automation and other pieces, and Archer being the system of record at the end of the incident closure and feeding that loop back. Also, the second integration is pulling the incident from Archer itself, doing all the automation, investigation, and then pushing that data back. So yes, integration with Archer is there, along with other ticketing systems like Remedy, Jira, we saw, ServiceNow, and many others.
Good deal. And did you want to address online or offline, just kind of the general pricing model? Quite a few questions.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, there's some pricing model questions. I see it here. So it's the subscription pricing model. So Demisto is priced as an annual subscription, and it's per user pricing. So basically, per analyst seat pricing is what the model is, and then it's a subscription model there. So that's a rough model, guys. I will work with you one-on-one. Feel free to contact us, and we'll be happy to share the details of pricing.
Great.
So I think with that, we're getting close to the time here. Quite a few things, again, recapping resources-wise. We will actually send this out in the follow-up email as well, but all of our playbooks are available both in articles, just for you guys to follow as PDF or web pages, build your processes around it. Also available as code on the GitHub side. All open playbooks. Again, playbooks is, in our belief, to share. That's not the secret sauce. Even if it is the secret sauce, I think it gets better with sharing. So all of those are available. We do have a WannaCry playbook specifically, which actually our research team created. We keep updating it. Again, some of the hashes there are evolving. The WannaCry itself is evolving. There's new variants coming in. Also, there is an ROI white paper available for you guys to think through how does this help your SOC operations run. And then, of course, we are happy to kind of go dig deeper into the product and discuss the parts that we were not able to get to today. With that, I think that's what we had. Thank you very much. And if you have any closing notes, but we'll get 10 minutes back to the team.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rishi, for your time. And just so the audience knows that we're trying to have these Tech Talk webinars every month. And if you would like to learn on a particular product feature or just security topic, please let us know, and we'll be sure to address that and present to that so we can give back to the community and improve learning and help you improve your overall security posture. So thank you to everyone.